The Bucks beat the Blazers last night. Carmelo Anthony played, and he looked pretty good in his second game in a Blazers uniform. He went 3 for 5 from 3, only 6 for 15 from the field, but he looked pretty good. Jalen, do you think this is the sort of Carmelo Anthony that you can expect for the rest of the season?
Don't sleep on LaBissiere. He had 22 and 12. CJ McCollum had 37 points. But it was great to see Melo get a couple of walk-up threes, play more like a stretch four, get opportunities to play offensively and be creative. When Dame Lillard comes back, it's clearly going to look a lot different because he's the Portland Trail Blazers' best player. But what Carmelo Anthony has proven is what we've already known. The last year, him not being in the league had nothing to do with his ability. It has something to do, as he mentioned, with him humbling himself, realizing that he had to fall into a role. It's just that for the Portland Trail Blazers, that role is starting. That role allows him to score double figures in both of the games that he's participated in.
It's just so nice to see him back out there. We're doing the celebration and yelling at people when he's trying to get rebounds and cursing. It's the best. And just the confidence of Carmelo is still there. As you can see at this play at the end of the half, you know he wants to take the last shot. The clock is ticking down. So here we have him. He's like, Giannis, don't worry, I don't need a pick. I'll take Giannis. No big deal at all. I got this. And then he does end up getting a screen here. So he decides to take Giannis and Lopez to the basket, and it ends the way you'd expect it to. Do you think he's going to have to change his game a little bit, or do you respect the confidence?
He's not going to change his game, but we got to call that a segment. No country for old men, because you're going to see those plays happen. While the opportunities to knock down mid-range and jab step and 15 and 18-footer going to happen, when he's trying to finish at that rim over young, longer players, he's going to get some shots blocked.
So we're talking about Carmelo because he's a future Hall of Famer, and he's a superstar, and he's only playing his second game. But the real story of this game were the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had 24, 19, and 15 assists. Jalen, he is third in the league in points per game, second in the league in rebounds per game. Are we sort of sleeping on what a year Giannis has put together so far?
Bledsoe also had 30. Connaughton had 18, spreading the basketball around. And the great thing about Giannis, if you notice, they basically play him at the 4. They play him at the 5. They use him to initiate offense. They'll get it to him at the top of the key. They'll get it to him at the elbow. They get it to him on the block. They're doing a great job of moving him around. And his court vision and his passing has improved so very much. It's impressive when a guy his size can get you 15 assists.
Yeah, 15 assists, 19. It's just such a huge game. And I think that we're so enamored with the new toys like Luka Doncic and Trae Young that we're overlooking what Giannis is doing in Milwaukee. And Jalen, there's some things that are sort of balanced out in the NBA. Do you remember the Suns? They had that hot start. Well, now they're kind of back to 500, and the Pelicans had that really slow start, and they're starting to win some games too. That's what happened last night in Phoenix, where the Pelicans beat the Suns, and Brandon Ingram had a really rough first half. Shook that off, ended up scoring 15 in the fourth quarter alone to bring the Pelicans to this win. Is this the Pelicans that you expected to see, that they're now sort of coming into form?
Redick had 26. Drew Holiday had 23. Shout out to Kelly Oubre of the Suns. He had 25. He been balling recently. But Brandon Ingram is a person that I consider a professional scorer. He's averaging around 25. No Zion in the lineup. He now gets a chance to be featured. He showed in LA that he could be this kind of player. This is why sometimes when you're a young, talented player and even a lottery pick, situation does matter. He's growing into his opportunity, which has allowed him to grow into his game, and he's doing a terrific job of leading the Pelicans in a big win over the Suns.
Jalen, I think we forget quickly just what a big deal Zion Williamson was heading into the season. We spent all summer long talking about Zion Williamson. It is all we talked about. We were so excited for him to start. And then, he got hurt. And he told us that he'd be out for a while, but there's no real timetable for his return. There's no real, this is when we'll see Zion Williamson play NBA basketball. How concerning is that for you and for fans of the game?
I'm not concerned about the prognosis because this is the smart way to play it. Anytime you put timelines on it, that never usually goes good. And then all of a sudden, you have teammates looking, you have fans waiting, you have media asking questions. When you say he's out indefinitely, that confirms it. You allow him to get some practices, try to get his physical conditioning back. See, that's the other thing. Not only is he injured, Jacoby, it's an injury to his knee, which is hard for him to maintain a level of fitness that's going to allow him to be productive as an NBA basketball player, a 6'7" frame, weighing 285 pounds. So even when he does get healthy, I would give him a couple of weeks to a month to even practice fully before I even consider putting him back out on the floor.
When you saw that picture that I saw of him in the sweatshirt, do you think he gained some weight, or was that just a bad angle?
He probably did gain some weight. It's hard to maintain shape when you have a knee injury. What you gonna do? You can't do much running, can't do much jumping. So, like any human being, of course he's gonna put on some pounds.
Oh, I would gain so much weight if I had a knee injury. Even if I just took like 3 weeks off, I'd turn into Kangaroo Jacoby.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.